Check 1 2, check 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Check 1 2, check 1 2, 1 2 7 8 9 10. Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. We're not getting anything. I did turn it on, right? Check 1 2, check 1 2. Okay.
Check 1 2 3 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, check his connection up there to see where he's plugged into. Check where he's connected into. Is it that box or is it one of the lines?
It's one of the lines, I think.
Let me be a little bit more clear. Is the cable that's plugged into his camera plugged into that black box on the end of the furniture, or is it plugged into one of those? Alright, fine. Now each one of those outputs is adjustable. I think it's adjustable on the side, the edge of it towards me, so it can actually be turned up if necessary.
pass directly behind the speakers area.
He's got my coffee.
Oh, he does.
Not allowed in here.
Not allowed in here. Okay. check 1 2, check 1 2. Trish, you should probably face the other way, facing me.
Yeah. Check 1 2, check 1 2. 3 4, 3 4.
Check 1 2, check 1 2, 1 2, 1 2.
Check 1 2, check 1 2, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. I don't know where you connected into. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8.
Check with him. Make sure.
Yeah, okay. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3.
Volunteer to a cake stand. The Come on, let's try it. It's birthday. Like, let's get to the point. Yeah. My mother said, why would they want to do that on my birthday?
Will the House please come to order?
Like at the airport, take so many bags. Yes, bag lady. Here, yeah, they're going. Yeah, I know. Get up there. Like that cable program. Stupid principal. He was due on Monday. The principal shows up at his house at 5:30 on Friday night with his recommendations.
Pursuant to the provisions of the Constitution and laws of the state of Vermont, I hereby call the 74th biennial session of the House of Representatives to order. Devotional exercises today will be conducted by Continua, a hospice choir of St. Johnsbury. And now, Paige Marin Tierney of Newark will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So now I will call the roll of the members, and would you please respond by saying here or present after I call your name. Representative from Middletown Springs.
Mr. Secretary, election issues pertaining to one House seat have not yet run their course. In the Orange 1 district, an initial recount has indicated a winner who technically has been certified to serve. However, an appeal has been filed and is ongoing over concern that every ballot may not have been treated equally in every town in the district. This concern is not a partisan issue, but is one of electoral integrity, which is a concern for every Vermonter. VSA 172605 clearly gives this body the ultimate responsibility to resolve election issues involving its members. We therefore believe that it is inappropriate to install either candidate for the seat until this body has ruled, and we request that the seat remain open until such time.
Oops. Sorry. Your point of order is not well taken, and I will just explain that Mr. Frenier won the election on November 8th. The recount was requested. After the recount, Mr. Frenier was also declared the winner by the court. By statute, the court's order serves as Mr. Frenier's certificate of election. Therefore, he is considered qualified to serve. This is not any different than what has been done before. The challenge itself will play out. So beginning the roll, in Addison 1, Robin Shea. Here. Shy, sorry. Amy Sheldon. Addison 2, Peter Conlon.
Here.
Addison 3, Diane Lampfer. Here. Warren Van Wyk. Here. Addison 4, Fred Baser. Here. And David Sharp. Present. Addison 5, Harvey Smith. Here. Addison Rutland, Allison Eastman. Bennington 1, William G.F. Botso II. Here. Bennington 2-1, Timothy R. Corcoran II. Here. Rachel D. Fields. Here. Bennington 2-2, Rukiah Morris. Present. Mary A. Morrissey. Here. Bennington 3, Alice Miller. Bennington 4, Brian Keefe. Here. And Cynthia M. Browning. Here. Bennington Rutland, Linda Joy Sullivan. Caledonia 1, Marcia Martell. Here. Caledonia 2, Joseph J. Troiano. Here. Caledonia 3, Scott L. Beck. Here. And Jansen D. Wilhoit. Here. Caledonia 4, Martha A. Feltus. And Richard H. Lawrence. Here. Caledonia, Washington, Catherine B. Toll. Here. Chittenden 1, Marcia Lawrence Gardner. Here. Chittenden 2, Terrence D. McCaig. Here. James M. McCullough. Present. Chittenden 3, Trevor J. Squirrel. Here. And George W. Till. Here. Chittenden 4-1, Michael I. Yantachka. Here. Chittenden 4-2, William J. Lippert, Jr. Chittenden 5-1, Catherine L. Webb. Chittenden 5-2, Jessica Comay Brumstead.
Here.
Chittenden 6-1, Carol Odie. Here. Kurt Wright. Chittenden 6-2, Gene D. O'Sullivan. Chittenden 6-3, Jill L. Krowinski and Kurt A. McCormick. Chittenden 6-4, Brian Sinna and Celine Colburn. Chittenden 6-5, Joanna Letty Donovan and Mary M. Sullivan. Chittenden 6-6, Barbara Rachelson.
Here.
Chittenden J. Bissonette. Diane E. Gonzalez. Chittenden 7-1, Martin J. Lalonde. Chittenden 7. Chittenden 7-3, Helen J. Head. Chittenden 8-1, Betsy Dunn and Linda K. Myers. Chittenden 8-2, Dylan Giambattista and Lori Houghton. Chittenden 8-3, Robert L. Bancroft. Chittenden 9-1, James O. Condon and Kurt D. Taylor. Chittenden 9-2, Patrick M. Brennan and Maureen P. Dakin. Chittenden 10, Ronald E. Hubert and Donald H. Turner, Jr. Essex Caledonia, Constance N. Quimby. Essex Caledonia, Orleans, Paul D. Lefebvre. Franklin 1, Coral. Franklin 2, Barbara S. Murphy. Franklin 3-1, Kathleen C. Keenan. Corey J. Parent. Franklin 3-2, Eileen G. Dickinson. Franklin 4, Mariana Gamache and Brian K. Savage. Franklin 5, Steve C. Byer and Albert E. Pierce. Franklin 6, Daniel F. Connor. Franklin 7, Cynthia A. Weed. Grand Isle Chittenden, Mitzi Johnson and Ben W. Joseph. Lamoille 1, Heidi E. Sherman. Lamoille 2, Matthew Hill and Daniel Noyes. Lamoille 3, Bernard C. Juskowitz. Lamoille, Washington, Gary Nolan and David W. Yakavone. Orange 1, Robert C. Frenier and Rodney P. Graham. Orange-2, Sarah L. Copeland-Hansis. Orange, Caledonia, Charles W. Conquest. Orange, Washington, Addison, Philip J. Hooper and Ben Jickling. Orleans 1, Lynn D. Batchelor and Brian Smith. Orleans 2, Michael J. Marcotte and Gary G. Vians. Orleans, Caledonia, Vicki M. Strong and Samuel R. Young. Orleans, Lamoille, Mark A. Higley. Rutland 1, Patricia A. McCoy. Rutland 2, Thomas B. Burdette and David E. Potter. Rutland 3, William P. Canfield and Robert G. Helm. Rutland 4, Thomas P. Terenzini. Rutland 5-1, Peter J. Fagan. Rutland 5-2, Larry P. Coopoli. Rutland 5-3, Mary E. Howard. Rutland 5-4, Douglas A. Gage. Rutland 6, Stephen A. Carr and Charles H. Shaw. Rutland Bennington, Robin J. Chestnut Tangerman. Rutland Windsor 1, Job B. Tate. Apologize. Rutland Windsor 2, Dennis J. Devereaux. Washington 1, Ann B. Donahue. Patty J. Lewis. Washington 2, Robert B. LeClaire and Francis M. McFawn. Washington 3, Paul N. Poyer and Tommy J. Waltz. Washington 4, Mary S. Hooper. Warren F. Kissmiller. Washington 5, Kimberly Jessup. Washington 6, Janet Ansell. Washington 7, Maxine Jo Grad. Adam M. Gresham. Washington Chittenden, Teresa A. M. Wood, and Thomas S. Stevens. Wyndham 1, Michael J. Hebert. Wyndham 2-1, Valerie A. Stewart. Wyndham 2-2, Molly S. Burke. Wyndham 2-3, Tristan D. Tolino. Wyndham 3, Carolyn W. Partridge. And Matthew A. Trieber. Wyndham 4, David L. Dean. And Michael Maricki. Wyndham 5, Emily J. Long. Wyndham 6, John M. Gannon. Wyndham Bennington, Laura H. Sibilia. Wyndham Bennington Windsor, Oliver K. Olson. Windsor 1, John L. Bartholomew. And Paul S. Belaski. Windsor 2, Anne Marie Christensen. Windsor 3-1, Thomas A. Bach. Windsor 3-2, Alice M. Emmons. And Robert J. Forgates. Windsor 4-1, Susan M. Buckholz. Windsor 4-2, Kevin B. Christie. And Gabrielle M. Luck. Windsor 5, Charlie A. Kimball. And Windsor Orange, David M. Ainsworth. Windsor Orange 2, Timothy C. Briglin. And James W. Maslin. Windsor Rutland, Sandy J. Haas. Thank you. I hereby declare that there is a quorum of the members-elect present. The first order of business today of this session is the election of a speaker, and nominations for the office of speaker are now in order. I would caution you to hold any applause until the election of the speaker is announced. The chair recognizes the member from Middletown Springs, Representative Chestnut Tangerman.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Hopefully this will go a little better than the last time I spoke. It is with great pleasure that I nominate the member from South Hero, Representative Mitzi Johnson, to serve as Speaker of the House. She was first elected to the House in 2004 and served first on Agriculture and since 2007 on the Appropriations Committee. It is as chair of that committee that her particular blend of skills shines most brightly. She holds a clear vision of the big picture, coupled with an incisive understanding of the many moving parts and a close attention to the myriad details that make the whole thing work. Her committee members know better than anyone her dedication to an inclusive process as they hammered out consensus on one thorny budget issue after another. That Mitzi Johnson has the talent and the temperament to be an excellent speaker is clear, but I believe that she also has a fundamental understanding of the many challenges facing working families, and that she shares a progressive commitment to protecting and enhancing fundamental rights, a commitment that we will both hold her to and help with. Mitzi may be perfectly willing to talk your ear off in support of results-based accountability or multi-year budgeting, but she takes a greater pleasure in delighting your ears as leader of the State House Singers. Her essential belief that everyone has a voice and her hard work to orchestrate those voices into harmony is what will make her an exceptional speaker.
The name of Mitzi Johnson of South Hero has been placed in nomination for the office of Speaker. Is there a second to this nomination? The chair recognizes the member from Shelburne, Representative Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, excuse me. We're not going to be able to say Mr. Speaker again, are we? Mr. Secretary, I rise to second the nomination of the member from South Hero, Representative Mitzi Johnson, to be our next Speaker of the House. I think most know about her degrees from the University of Vermont and from that little rinky-dink school down on the Charles, Harvard. I could tell you how she began working to figuratively build the House of Representatives, but you may not know that she literally built her own house in South Hero using a hammer and plumber and wrench and other tools. Some of us know her as the ever-patient and talented choral director of the State House Singers, the creator of multiple textile arts, and many of us know about her as being the beloved Tante Mitzi to Nora, who is here today, and the twins. And those of us who live with her during the session know that she does not stop until her head hits the pillow. What you do need to know about Representative Johnson is that she thinks about things. She is whip smart, as the former speaker once described her, and has the capacity to think both deeply as well as broadly. And she thinks about this institution, about the structures here, and how they relate to each other, whether they relate to our values, and what we need to change or keep in place, and why. It is in her psychological makeup to search and to find that tough missing piece to help solve a very complex and often what seems to be an unsolvable puzzle. She has a laser focus on identifying and clarifying the nature of a problem before identifying a solution. What is the problem we are here trying to solve? To understand Representative Johnson's leadership talents, I think a little music metaphor will help, in which we are the orchestra and she is the conductor hired to produce a complex, more than $5 billion symphony that will become our state budget. She doesn't get to choose her musicians, sadly, but must figure out how to use each of us to the best that we can be. She will find a place for you and value you. Even if you think you're a soprano, she will help you discover your true gift as a tenor or an alto, so vital to that section. She has a keen understanding and appreciation for the value of the wind instruments, sometimes the long-winded instruments, and you know who you are. And she has an ability to temper the brass section, you know who you are, and the strings that can sometimes be a little bit sharp. And then there are, of course, the percussionists, and you know who you are. That she will help you find your rhythm and use the rhythm that will support this institution to the greatness that we know it can be. She can make use of harmony as well as cacophony. Representative Johnson has a capacity for numbers which is staggering in its depth and breadth, but it doesn't stop here. She knows where the money is, where the reserves are, why they are there, and how much it tugs, not just at the numbers, but at the relationship between those numbers that is real.
Are there any other nominations? The Chair will recognize the member from Northfield, Representative Donahue.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I rise to nominate Linda Myers for the position of Speaker of the House. He was a journalist for 75 years. In the 1960s, he was working for the Washington Post, covering, among other things, John F. Kennedy's inauguration. As a result, I was in Washington, and I even got to attend the inauguration. As fate would have it, at exactly the same time, a young journalist was cutting her teeth on the Washington political scene. It was Linda Myers, fresh out of college, and writing for the newsletter of an international labor union that was headquartered there. I learned a lot from my father. One of his frequent traditions was to write an editorial after an election cycle locally to express profound appreciation for those who lost, because their role was so fundamental to our democracy. Without those willing to run, he would say, we would be left with Soviet-style elections. Choose one from a list of one. In other words, there is no democracy without a choice. And so I'm honored to present a choice to you today, the opportunity to consider a second, eminently qualified candidate to lead the body through the next biennium. I learned something important from watching my father's career, that journalism produces a superb education in the subjects of fairness and open government, and in honing the skills of being a good listener. He had a heading on his editorial page that said, "It's a free country, opinions differ, all matter." Journalists are the quintessential observers of the human condition. They understand the importance of balance, of respect for the views of others, and of hearing the voices of those who might otherwise be underrepresented. Linda Myers was a journalist for 39 years before becoming a member of this body 15 years ago. No wonder those attributes are so prominent in everything she does. No wonder her open-mindedness and her careful judgment are so evident. And it should be no surprise that the leadership of this body in past years would have recognized her skills so often. Named to a key money committee, Corrections and Institutions, as she began serving in 2002, then named vice chair of that same committee, continuing in that role for the past 10 years. Then also to the crucial Administrative Rules Committee in 2009, and most recently to the Judicial Nominating Board. No surprise either that she was chair of the Essex Town Select Board in the last 4 of her 13 years of service there. She clearly knows leadership. She doesn't operate with preconceived notions about the best routes to take. She is always ready to listen to different perspectives and hear the other side of an issue. She works well together with others. She leads by her example. She demonstrates values with a clear eye and a low-key but steady hand. But there is more to the question of election of a speaker than individual qualities. If it were solely about that, we would be hard-pressed to choose between 2 candidates of such excellent abilities. At its core, it goes to the fundamental role of the speaker to ensure fairness and balance, to protect minority voices, to ensure those voices are heard. In a more perfect world, it might be a nonpartisan position, because it should not be about the exercise of power, it should be about the exercise of temperance. Protecting our legislative process so that all views are heard and respected. We can do that here today. An open and balanced process in this chamber, protected by a vote that elects a minority party candidate, is what we value most in the office of the Speaker. We can make a choice of leadership not based upon the power of a majority party, but instead based upon the power of inclusiveness. We can elect Linda Myers as Speaker. I urge you to join me in voting for her.
The name of Linda Myers of Essex has been placed in nomination for the office of Speaker. Is there a second to this nomination? The chair recognizes the member from Pittsford, Representative Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I rise today to second the nomination of the senior member from Essex, Representative Linda K. Myers. We have just learned of Representative Myers' numerous legislative and personal accolades during a beautifully articulated nomination speech by the member from Northfield. I'm not standing to repeat those accomplishments, but to speak about the compassionate and caring person I have known for the past 7 years. But to do that, I must tell you a short personal story. When your life as a legislator begins as a mid-session appointment, as I was, it can be somewhat difficult to access the inner workings and mood of the legislative body mid-biennium. On my first day, I was assigned a seat on the Corrections and Institution Committee, where Representative Myers served as vice chair. She immediately recognized I would certainly need some mentoring. She took up the task of making me a well-informed and thoughtful legislator. The story is relevant today, as through our personal relationship, I have come to learn Representative Myers is a caring, compassionate, thoughtful, and very convicted woman. Her political acumen is legendary, and her sense of fairness to all has been proven to me many times over in her work in her home community, her House committee, and her various additional legislative assignments, but above all, to her personal and legislative family. Should you choose to elect Representative Linda Myers as your Speaker of this body, you will find she will represent all of us, including progressives, independents, Democrats, and yes, Republicans. She will remain true to her constituents in her home district of Essex, while keeping the very best interest of all Vermonters in the forefront. Her door will remain open to all because she cares about us and the citizens of the great state of Vermont. Mr. Secretary, it has been my distinct privilege to offer this second to the nomination of Representative Linda Myers for the position of Speaker of the Vermont House of Representatives. I do hope the members will support her in this effort.
The member from Pittsford has seconded the nomination of Linda Myers of Essex for the office of Speaker. Are there any other nominations for this office? Hearing none, there being no more nominations, the clerk shall cast a ballot with the names of Mitzi Johnson of South Hero and Linda Myers of Essex for Speaker of the House. Accordingly, we need tellers, and the chair now appoints as tellers the member from Westminster, Representative Dean; the member from South Burlington, Representative Lalonde; the member from Colchester, Representative Dakin; the member from Poultney, Representative McCoy; the member from Westford, Representative Bancroft; and the member from Derby, Representative Batchelor. Please assemble in the well.
Sometimes if you leave, they don't get back again. So if your family members were downstairs, you could go over and say hi, or they're in the Senate. But I don't know, so you think they're going to be here and do it. Oh, okay. I'm glad it's finale, but I it doesn't seem like it would just simply go, yeah. But then they might ask, but I don't know, actually. I'm not sure it's going to go on before it is. Yeah, especially like on appropriations that people are supporting them. What's interesting is that all the members now of the Democratic caucus that are leaders are all in the seats right next to each other. Is that normal? Yeah. Is that a big kick out? Yeah. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. So you just mark exit? Yeah. Okay.
I don't have to.
No, I have a pen. I know, I thought you had pulled a couple out. I did, I know, and I don't know what I do with them. They're floating around. Okay, I may use your pen like mine. I have a red pen, which will totally give me away. Now, do we hold it in half or something? Yeah, you don't have to, but I would. Put it up there. Yeah. All right, first lesson. I know. That's good. So, and you've met Rachel. Have you met Rachel? And Sandy? How are you? You're here earlier than I thought. I saw your email. I saw your Facebook post or something.
I canceled my doctor's
Okay.
appointment because I was too worried that I wouldn't get here on time.
Is the weather okay?
Will the House please come to order? Please listen to the results of your vote. Total votes cast, 150. Total votes for Mitzi Johnson of South Hero, 100. Total votes for Linda Myers of Essex, 50. Mitzi Johnson of South Hero receiving the majority of the votes cast, I now declare that Mitzi Johnson of South Hero has been elected Speaker for the ensuing biennium. I will now designate the member from Burlington, Representative Sullivan, the member from Rochester, Representative Haas, the member from Rockingham, Representative Trieber, the member from Rutland City, Representative Coopely, the member from Fairfax, Representative Murphy, and the member from Linden, Representative Feltus, as a committee to wait upon the Speaker-elect to inform her of his election and conduct her to the bar of the House to receive the oath of office. Will the members of the committee please meet in the well of the House and proceed to perform their duties? What did I thought it.
Mr. Secretary of State,
Madam Sergeant at Arms,
the committee is assembled and ready to escort Speaker Mitzi Johnson to the podium to accept her oath.
will the committee please escort the Speaker-elect to the bar of the House to receive the oath of office? Please raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Mitzi Johnson,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that as a member of this assembly,
that as a member of this assembly,
I will not propose
I will not propose
or assent to
or assent to
any bill, vote, or resolution
any bill, vote, or resolution
which shall appear to me
which shall appear to me
injurious to the people,
injurious to the people,
nor do consent to
nor do consent to
any act or thing whatsoever
any act or thing whatsoever
that shall have a tendency
that shall have a tendency
to lessen or abridge
to lessen or abridge
their rights and privileges
their rights and privileges
as declared by the Constitution of this state.
as declared by the Constitution of this full,
Honest representative
honest representative
and guardian of the people,
and guardian of the people,
according to the best of my judgment and ability,
according to the best of my judgment and abilities,
under the pains and penalties of perjury.
under the pains and penalties of perjury.
I do solemnly affirm
I do solemnly affirm
that I will be true and faithful
that I will be true and faithful
to the state of Vermont,
to the state of Vermont,
and that I will not,
and I will not,
directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
do any act or thing
do any act or thing
injurious to the Constitution
injurious to the Constitution
or government thereof,
or government thereof,
under the pains and penalties of perjury.
under the pains and penalties of perjury.
I do solemnly affirm
I do solemnly affirm
that I did not at the time
that I did not at the time
of my election to this body,
of my election to this body,
and that I do not now
and that I do not now
hold any office of profit or trust
hold any office of profit or trust
under the authority of Congress,
under the authority of Congress,
under the pains and penalties of perjury.
under the pains and penalties of perjury.
I do further solemnly affirm
I do further solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
under the pains and penalties of perjury.
under the pains and penalties of perjury.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I exit stage left.
Okay. I will have more remarks for you later, but I know there are others who have worked very hard to get here and who are anxiously awaiting to take their oaths. And so for now, we'll proceed with the business of the House. So the first order of business is the election of the clerk, and nominations for the clerk are now in order. The chair recognizes the member from Burlington, Representative Krawinski.
Madam Speaker, I rise to nominate William McGill for the position of Clerk of the House. Mr. McGill is a graduate of Vermont Law School and has nearly 15 years' experience in the office of the clerk. He became first assistant clerk in 2004 and Clerk of the House in 2016. Bill McGill is dedicated, hardworking, and I hope you'll join me in supporting him. Thank you.
The member of Burlington has placed the name of William M. McGill of Waitsfield in nomination for the office of the Clerk of the House. Is there a second? The chair recognizes the member from Milton, Representative Turner.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to second the nomination of William M. McGill for the position of Clerk of the House. Having served in the House since 2006, I've known Bill to be a very effective member of the clerk team, and as of last year, becoming the clerk. So it is with great honor that I second his nomination and ask that you join me in supporting Bill for the position of clerk. Thank you.
Are there any other nominations for this office? There being no further nominations, I direct that a vote be taken viva voce. Are you ready for this? Aye. All those opposed signify by saying no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and William M. McGill of Waitsfield is elected Clerk of the House for the next 2 years ensuing. Congratulations. So I now designate the member from Burlington, Representative Krawinski, the member from Milton, Representative Turner, the member from Warren, Representative Gresham, and the member from Moortown, Representative Grad, as a committee to wait upon the clerk-elect, inform him of his election, and conduct him to the bar of the House to receive the oath of office.
Madam Speaker.
Madam Sergeant at Arms.
The committee to escort House Clerk William McGill is present and ready to perform their duties.
Okay, will the committee please escort the clerk of the House, the clerk-elect to the bar of the House to receive the oath of office? what's his name? Stephen. So the clerk-elect will now receive the oath of office from Stephen D. Marshall of Swanton.
Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, William M. McGill,
I, William M. McGill,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will be true and faithful to the state of Vermont,
that I will be true and faithful to the state of Vermont,
and that I will not, directly or indirectly,
do
any act or thing injurious to the Constitution or government thereof.
injurious to the Constitution or government thereof.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of Clerk of the House
the office of Clerk of the House
of the Representatives for the state of Vermont,
of the Representatives for the state of Vermont,
and that I will therein do equal right and justice to all men and women, to the best of my judgment and ability, according to law.
Help me God.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Bill. So members-elect will now rise and receive the oath of office from the Clerk of the House, William McGill.
Each of you have a copy of the oath at your desk. After you've taken your oath, please sign it, and you will return it back to my office. Please raise your right hands. I, repeat your name, do any bill, vote, or resolution which shall appear to me injurious to the people, nor do nor consent to any act or thing whatever that shall have a tendency to lessen or abridge their rights and privileges as declared by the Constitution of this state, but will in all things conduct myself as a faithful, honest representative and guardian of the people according to the best of my judgment and ability. So help me God. I do solemnly swear that I will be true and faithful to the state of, and that I will do any act or thing injurious to the Constitution or government thereof. So help me God. I do solemnly swear now, so help me God. I do further solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States. So help me God. Congratulations.
We now have a letter of appointment from the clerk's office. I guess I should begin with congratulations. We have a letter of appointment from the clerk's office from the new clerk, William McGill, that reads, Madam Speaker, I have the honor to inform you and the members of the House that I have appointed Melissa Krasaric of Montpelier as first assistant clerk, Rebecca Silbernagel of Fayston as second assistant clerk, Jeremy Weiss of Calais as journal clerk, Jean Olson of Montpelier as resolution clerk, and Christine Dittmeyer of Plainfield as clerk assistant. Sincerely, William M. McGill, clerk of the House. Will the first and second assistant clerks please rise to receive their oaths of office?
Raise your right hand. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will be true and faithful to the state of Vermont, and that I will not, directly or indirectly, do any act or thing injurious to the Constitution or government thereof. So help me God. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of Assistant Clerk of the House of Representatives for the state of Vermont, and will therein do equal right and justice to all men and women to the best of my judgment and ability, according to law. So help me God. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States. So help me God. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you as well, and I am pleased to announce that the House is now officially ready to do business. We have a few House resolutions and joint resolutions to take up at this time. The first is H.R. 1, a resolution, House rules, offered by Representative Krawinski of Burlington, Turner of Milton, and Chestnut Tangerman of Middletown Springs. And please listen to the reading of the resolution, please.
Resolved by the House of Representatives that the House rules in effect at the end of the 2015-2016 session be the rules of this biennial session until others are adopted.
Okay. The question is now, shall this resolution be adopted? Are you ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. The ayes appear to have it, the ayes do have it, and the resolution is adopted. H.R. 2, the resolution offered by Representatives Krawinski of Burlington, Turner of Milton, and Chestnut Tangerman of Middletown Springs. Please listen to the reading of that resolution.
Resolved by the House of Representatives that the Clerk of the House inform the Senate that the House has organized and is ready to proceed on its part with the business of the session.
Okay, we've heard the reading of the resolution. The question is, shall the resolution be adopted? Are you ready for this question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes appear to have it, the ayes do have it, and the resolution is adopted. H.R. 3 is the resolution relating to the organization of the House and informing the governor thereof, offered by Representatives Krawinski of Burlington, Turner of Milton, and Chestnut Tangerman of Middletown Springs. Please listen to the reading of that resolution.
Resolved by the House of Representatives that His Excellency the Governor be informed by committee that the House has completed its organization and is ready to receive any communication from him.
Okay, you've heard the reading of the resolution, and the question is, shall the resolution be adopted? Are you ready for this question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. The ayes appear to have it, the ayes do have it, and the resolution is adopted. Now, pursuant to provisions of H.R. 3, I hereby appoint as the committee to inform the governor that the House is ready to proceed with the business of the session the following members: Representative Hooper of Montpelier, Representative Hill of Walcott, Representative Quimby of Concord, Representative Weed of Enosburg, Representative Baser of Bristol, and Representative Olson of Londonderry. Will the members of the committee meet in the well of the House and proceed to perform their duties? So I think, so we have,
I know you wanted to do it
before lunch, but because it was up this morning, people don't have a copy.
That's what you're asking about.
That's a problem. Oh, Don? Bill, where did my canvassing committee thing go?
Congratulations.
When in doubt, write it down.
And so it's being passed out to be voted on. It essentially to keep the energy component there, and the energy integrity and Okay, will the House please come to order? We have a number of additional resolutions. JRS 1 is a joint resolution relating to joint rules offered by Senator Mazza. Please listen to the reading of that resolution.
Resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that the joint rules of the Senate and House as adopted in 2015 be adopted as the joint rules of this biennial session until others are adopted.
You've heard the reading of the resolution, and shall the resolution be adopted in concurrence? Are you ready for that question? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes. JRS 2 is a joint resolution to provide for a joint assembly to hear the farewell message of the governor offered by Senator Sears. Please listen to the reading of that resolution.
Resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that the two houses meet in joint assembly on Wednesday, January 4th, 2017 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to receive the message of the outgoing governor.
The question is, shall the resolution be adopted in concurrence? Are you ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and the resolution is adopted in concurrence. JRS 3 is a joint resolution to provide for a joint assembly to receive the report of the committee appointed to canvass votes for the state officers, offered by Senator White. Please listen to the reading of that resolution.
Resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that the two houses meet in joint assembly on Thursday, January 5th, 2017, at 10 o'clock in the forenoon to receive the report of the Joint Canvassing Committee appointed to canvass votes for Governor, Lieutenant Governor, State Treasurer, Secretary of State, Auditor of Accounts, and Attorney General. And if it shall be declared by said committee that there have been no election by the free men and free women of any of said state officers, then to proceed forthwith to elect such officers as have not been elected by the free men and free women.
The question is, shall the resolution be adopted in concurrence? Are you ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and the resolution is adopted in concurrence. JRS 4 is a joint resolution to provide for a joint assembly to hear the inaugural message of the governor, offered by Senator Ashe. Please listen to the reading of the resolution.
Resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that the two houses meet in joint assembly on Thursday, January 5th, 2017, at 1 o'clock and 30 minutes in the afternoon to receive the inaugural message of the governor.
The question is, shall the resolution be adopted in concurrence? Are you ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and the resolution is adopted in concurrence. Now, pursuant to the provision of House Rule 25, the following members were elected by their respective caucuses to the Committee on Rules. Representative Krawinski of Burlington, Representative Tolino of Brattleboro, Representative Turner of Milton, Representative Savage of Swanton, Representative Donahue of Northfield, and Representative Dean of Westminster. Before we close out the business of the morning, I want to say thank you. I stand here humbled by your support and the confidence you've placed in me, and I, like all of us, have much for which to be grateful for today. And at the top of that list for me is my family, some of whom are here today with me, my steadfast partner, Bill, my parents, my aunt and political mentor, my sister, and my fabulous niece, Nora. Thank you for all of the many ways that you have supported and loved me and given me a thick skin, which I think will come in handy. I'm appreciative, too, of all members of the House here for stepping up to serve our communities and the state that we love. It's such a thrill to serve with bright, engaged, and feisty colleagues who care so very deeply. For the many new members joining us, welcome, and my wish for you is that you make an unexpected friendship this biennium. We're each here because we care about our communities, and we want to keep our state on the path to a prosperous future. When things get heated around here, and they will, please remember that the person who is perhaps not bringing out your best self at the moment is also here because they care and they are doing their best to serve our state. My main request for all of you is to focus on being curious and asking good questions. The campaign process tends to herd us towards simple sound bites, kind of like the ones you may have seen on campaign literature. But the answers are not as simple. Take time to understand the problem that we are trying to solve, and we have a lot of tough problems to tackle. We have an economy that boasts one of the lowest unemployment rates in the country for years running. Our median income is higher than that of the national average, but the distribution of good jobs and good wages is not evenly distributed throughout our state. So how can we spread that economic opportunities to all areas of Vermont? We can be proud of the investments that we've made to support our neighbors when they fall on hard times, but too often the same people we are trying to help find themselves trapped in poverty. Because a better job, an overtime shift, or taking a promotion causes them to lose more supports than they would gain in raises. So how can we address this pressing issue and the problem of building ladders out of poverty that don't come with built-in disincentives? We're faced with a changing climate that poses challenges to our agriculture, public health, tourism base, and ecology, as well as our state infrastructure and budget. So how can we do our part to mitigate efforts without threatening our economy? We can come up with a list of complex questions in any area of government and in any one of our jurisdictions and areas of passion. But the big question at the heart of our work is, how do we meet the many challenges of building a strong, healthy future in a way that we can afford? I'll admit that if I had the answers to these questions, I wouldn't have held out on you for 14 years. But I know that together we can tackle them and make progress towards them. We owe that to Vermonters. And we owe Vermonters good, honest, effective state government. That's why I'm asking this House to evaluate state government and prioritize what Vermonters need most, so that we may preserve the long-term health and wellness of our state. We're committed to working with the administration to getting this right. To streamline this process, I've also taken a hard look at the areas of jurisdiction for each committee. A resolution before you redistributes responsibilities and evens out workload to support more holistic discussion and focus on the problems that Vermonters need us to address. All of forest policy, as well as Parks and Recreation, will move to agriculture for a true working lands committee. For the first time in 20 years, energy policy and its associated regulation and consumer protection will be united, joined with telecom and broadband issues in a new energy and technology committee. This committee will have the oversight of IT projects within the state. Not only will it support legislative expertise in IT oversight, but it will also free up government operations to focus on good government and free up commerce to devote more time to economic and job development. And to work to tackle the problem of affordable housing, general housing and military affairs will be expanded to an 11-person committee to have the resources they need for the very good work that they do. And to take one step closer to true mental health parity, oversight of mental health policy will move from the Human Services to the Healthcare Committee. Effective democracy honors disagreement and debate. And a member here once said, "It's the majority's job to steer the ship, and it's the minority's job to point out the rocks." There's a reason that our system of governance allows the people of the state to choose a majority to lead the way, but understands the importance of dissension. And Vermont is benefited by keeping all perspectives at the table and protecting minority voices. To the member from Milton, to the member from Middletown Springs, to your caucuses, as well as the independents, I pledge to protect your voices and the critical role you play while you respectively and productively point out the rocks. And to the member from Burlington and your caucus, Vermonters have sent you here as the majority party of this chamber to guide this ship. And to you, I pledge my partnership in the difficult work of compromise and governing. I thank you for entrusting me to serve as your speaker and as the third woman speaker of this state. Together, we'll continue to build a stronger, more prosperous future for Vermont. And I look forward to getting to work. Thank you. So given some of the changes that I've outlined, a change in rules for jurisdiction of House committees is in order, and please listen to the reading of that resolution by title only.
House Resolution to amend Rule 25 of the House of Representatives pertaining to the jurisdiction of committees.
You've heard the reading of the resolution by title only. Are you ready for that question? Sorry. The question is, shall the resolution be adopted? Are you ready for that question? Member from Northfield?
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Oh.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to express a concern about opening our session with a somewhat rushed process for a substantive resolution, and note that there was not a meeting of the Rules Committee able to be held. However, I also note the fact that as a member of that committee, I did have input and the opportunity to suggest changes that were adopted. And I support very much the importance of our being able to move rapidly to begin the business of the House, which requires appointment to committees, which therefore requires committees' jurisdictions to be organized. I therefore support this resolution, and I urge the body's support.
Okay, the question is, shall the resolution be adopted in concurrence? Are you ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. The ayes appear to have it, the ayes do have it, and the resolution is adopted in concurrence. We did. The clerk informs me that I have some flexibility about order here, and so in order to answer the question that many of you are asking, I'm going to use this time to announce committees for the House so that we can then move on to honoring the guests that are here today, and we are so pleased that you're joining us. So the first name for every committee, the first name that will be read is the committee chair. The second name that is read is the vice chair. The third name that is read is the ranking member, and the remaining names are in alphabetical order. Everybody's got their pens out? Okay. Agriculture and Forestry. Partridge of Wyndham, Lawrence of Linden, Bartholomew of Heartland, Higley of Lowell, Bach of Chester, Buckholtz of Hartford, Eastman of Orwell, Hooper of Brookfield, Graham of Williamstown, Smith of New Haven, Sheldon of Middlebury. Committee on Appropriations. Toll of Danville, Fagan of Rutland City, Keenan of St. Albans City, Lampher of Vergennes, Dakin of Colchester, Feltus of Linden, Jeskowitz of Cambridge, Helm of Fairhaven, Hooper of Montpelier, Treber of Rockingham, Iacovoni of Morristown. Commerce and Economic Development. Bozzo of Pownell, Marcotte of Coventry, O'Sullivan of Burlington, Sullivan of Dorset, Myers of Essex, Hill of Walcott, Frenier of Chelsea, Poirier of Berry City, Stewart of Brattleboro, Kimball of Woodstock, McCoy of Pulteney. Corrections and Institutions. Emmons of Springfield, Shaw of Pittsford, McCaig of Williston, Shy of Middlebury, Morrissey of Bennington, Martell of Waterford, Taylor of Colchester, Connor of Fairfield, Turner of Milton, Batchelor of Derby, Belaski of Windsor. Committee on Education. Sharp of Bristol, Pierce of Richford, Webb of Shelburne, Miller of Shaftesbury, Conlon of Cornwall, Beck of St. Johnsbury, Giambattista of Essex, Joseph of North Hero, Coopeley of Rutland City, Long of Newfane, Gresham of Warren. Energy and Telecom, Carr of Brandon, McCormick of Burlington, Parent of St. Albans Town, Yantachka of Charlotte, Chestnut Tangerman of Middletown Springs, Sibelia of Dover, Forgeitz of Springfield, Van Wyck of Ferrisburg, General Housing and Military Affairs, Head of South Burlington, Stevens of Waterbury, Tate of Mendon, Fields of Bennington, Gonzalez of Winooski, Waltz of Berry City, Howard of Rutland City, Smith of Derby, Strong of Albany, Sherman of Stowe, Christie of Hartford. Committee on Government Operations, Townsend of South Burlington, Hubert of Milton, Kitzmiller of Montpelier, Brumstead of Shelburne, Gardner of Richmond, Weed of Enosburg, Leclerc of Barrytown, Devereaux of Mount Holly, Gannon of Wilmington, Lewis of Berlin, Tolino of Brattleboro. Committee on Health Care, Lippert of Heinsberg, Donahue of Northfield, Briglin of Thetford, Copeland-Hansis of Bradford, Chena of Burlington, Dunn of Essex, Jickling of Brookfield, Gage of Rutland City, Hebert of Vernon, Christensen of Wethersfield, Houghton of Essex. Human Services, Pugh of South Burlington, Haas of Rochester, McFawn of Barrytown, Keefe of Manchester, Gamache of Swanton, Rosenquist of Georgia, Noyes of Walcott, Wood of Waterbury, Merwicki of Pulteney, Troiano of Standard, Olson of Londonderry. Committee on Judiciary, Grad of Moortown, Conquest of Newbury, Burdett of West Rutland, Lalonde of South Burlington, Coburn of Burlington, Rachelson of Burlington, Dickinson of St. Albans Town, Vians of Newport City, Will Hoyt of St. Johnsbury, and Morris of Bennington, Dean of Westminster, Sullivan of Burlington, Bayor of Highgate, Squirrel of Underhill, McCullough of Williston, Odie of Burlington, Lefebvre of Newark, Terenzini of Rutland Town, and Ainsworth of Royalton. Committee on Transportation, Brennan of Colchester, Potter of Clarendon, Corcoran of Bennington, Quimby of Concord, Nolan of Morristown, Burke of Brattleboro, Kowinski of Burlington, Bancroft of Westford, Murphy of Fairfax, Savage of Swanton, Bissonette of Winooski. Committee on Ways and Means, Ansell of Calais, Young of Glover, Canfield of Fairhaven, Baser of Bristol, Browning of Arlington, Wright of Burlington, Condon of Colchester, Donovan of Burlington, Masland of Thetford, Luke of Hartford, and Till of Jericho. We now have one final resolution before us. I knew there was a danger in doing that first. But we have one final resolution before us. HCR 1 is the House concurrent resolution honoring the National Guard. Please listen to the reading of the resolution.
Whereas shortly before Thanksgiving 2016, Adjutant General for the State of Vermont, Major General Stephen Cray, announced that several hundred members of the Vermont Air National Guard, 158th Fighter Wing, would be deployed on short notice to the Central Command, a geographic area that encompasses North Africa, the Middle East, and Southeast Asia. And whereas the deployment, which may last several months, occurred on December 7, 2016, and at the departure ceremony, Major General Cray referred to the Middle East while offering no further specifics. And whereas Major Brian Lapine of Essex Junction is serving as a commander of the deployment, and whereas approximately a week after the deployment, the Vermont Air National Guard released additional specifics. And whereas some of the deployed Vermont Air National Guard personnel, who numbered 300 in total, flew a squadron of the 158th Fighter Wing's F-16 aircraft to the Middle East. And whereas the Vermonters have been assigned to the 407th Air Expeditionary Group that is under the command of Colonel David C. Lyons, and they will be engaged in combat missions. And whereas all of these brave members of the Vermont Air National Guard sacrifice spending the holidays with their families in order to serve our nation in a dangerous military mission. And whereas the General Assembly respects these Vermonters' dedication to serving our nation in combat and their readiness to go wherever duty calls. Now therefore be it resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that the General Assembly honors the military service of the 300 members of the Vermont Air National Guard recently deployed to the Middle East and expresses the sincere hope, and be it further resolved, that the Secretary of State be directed to send a copy of this resolution to the Adjutant General for the State of Vermont, Major General Stephen Cray, and to the 158th Fighter Wing Commander, Colonel Patrick M. Guiney.
You've heard the reading of the resolution. The question is, shall the resolution be adopted in concurrence? Are you ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed by saying nay. Adopted in concurrence. This completes the business of the morning. Are there any announcements? Member from South Burlington.
Madam Speaker, it's an honor to recognize the recently deployed Vermont National Guard members with our first concurrent resolution of 2017. I know that we've all been proud of the sacrifice that these 300 Guards members are making and concerned for their health and welfare. With us today is the Adjutant General, Stephen Cray, who is as polished looking as ever here. You'd be surprised to know that he stepped off a plane at 4 a.m. this morning after returning from a visit to the Middle East, a visit with our troops. He has helped that they are still enjoying a bounty of holiday packages arrived from family and friends and lots of good wishes. And so that helps us as we go forward. I'd like to recognize the members of the Guard who are here with us today, led by Major General Cray, also Chief Master Sergeant Letourneau, Command Sergeant Major Quick, Captain Phelan, Chief Master Sergeant Zeppi, Master Sergeant Chevalier, Master Sergeant Broski, Technical Sergeant Brooks, and Senior Airman Boise. They're seated in the Senate seats.
Will the members, will the guests of the member from South Burlington please rise and be recognized? Are there any other announcements? Member from Danville.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The devotion today was offered by Continua, an independent hospice choir based in the St. Johnsbury area and directed by Suzanne Rhodes of Peacham. Continua is a group of 22 volunteer singers now entering its 11th year of service, providing critical music of comfort and support at the bedsides of those at end of life. They typically do not sing publicly. They sing in small groups of 4 to 6 in people's homes, in nursing homes, and in hospitals and in rehabilitation centers. They offer songs of spirit from a wide range of sources and traditions with the goal of providing comfort and support for all those facing end of life. Continua wishes to express gratitude to Diane Martin in their repertoire. Unfortunately, due to the late time, they were unable to stay and be recognized, but I wanted to be sure to express our appreciation from all members of the House. Thank you.
Are there any further announcements? Okay, seeing none. Oh, I'm sorry, you blended beautifully into the fabric behind you.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. I would just like to thank our servicemen that are here today, and to remember that our overseas are in our prayers, and I admonish the body to keep them in prayer, and that everyone comes home safely to their family. Thank you.
Thank you, Member from Albany. Are there any further announcements? Okay, now seeing none. The First Assistant Clerk would like me to remind returning members that if you would like any change in your seat, you need to see her immediately. This House, then, we will stand in recess until 1 o'clock. Please be in your seats promptly. We have actually quite a bit to do with the election of the canvassing committee and seating of new members before a joint assembly at 2. So this House will stand in recess at until 1 o'clock.
Ledge Council or Security, I'm not sure which. Thank you. I'll take a hug. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comforting words. You get both of these two?
I get these two.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Terry. Good to see you. Congratulations to you, too. Yeah, we still need something, even if you're not employed. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you. I saw that up there again a little way.
Yes.